Bickley and Marotta. Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
26,000 fans showed up for Saturday's red and white practice. Another absurd showing of optimism from a fan base that is full of hopium after a 4-win season a year ago. And personally, I would like the front office to start showing similar urgency and giddiness about the upcoming season. And I say that because the Cardinals are $34.7 million over the salary cap. They have the fourth most financial flexibility in the league, and after a season-ending injury to BJ Ojulari, they have very little talent in which to rush the opposing quarterback. And then there's this. For all the local optimism, they also have a roster, according to most experts, that is severely lacking in impact players. And if you didn't know better, you think the Cardinals are planning on winning next year. Now, I understand that Monty Ossenfort is rebuilding the team through the draft and from the ground up, and I know how he feels about the high price of free agency. But the Cardinals also have a shaky history when it comes to spending wildly on football players, certainly not like the 49ers, and certainly not like Matt Ishbia's Suns. For comparisons, Grayson Allen will cost the Suns $79 million next year, and that is more than Kyler Murray, Budda Baker, and James Conner combined. But in the end, the NFL is different. You can go from worst to first, and with all this organic optimism in the air, the last thing we need in Arizona is for our football team to rank among league leaders in salary cap space. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
Yeah, we'll see. That's what I mean by figuring it out.
But is that, I mean, obviously you're looking down the depth chart too.
Yeah, all things are on the table. We got plenty of guys on the defense that need to step up and play.
That's Jonathan Gannon on Saturday prior to the red and white practice that drew 26,000 fans to State Farm Stadium. New record attendance there. So the hopium is flowing, no doubt.
Oh, it's unbelievable. For a 4-win team, Vinny?
Yeah, but that's also in response to the news about BJ Ojulari. Jonathan Gannon was very matter-of-fact, almost, and I don't mean this in a bad way, almost cold about it. We got to figure it out. Like, it's a bummer that he got hurt, but we got to figure it out. We got a lot of guys. But do they have a lot of guys, but do they have the guys that
do
can
they have
actually
difference makers?
Yes,
yeah.
because if you were going to talk to the most optimistic people about the Arizona Cardinals' chances to do something in 2024, even the optimistic club would say, all right, I got questions about the pass rush a little bit. It wasn't exactly productive last year. Yes, Dennis Gardeck had some individual pressure numbers that were very, very impressive. But then on the flip side of it, are you getting to the quarterback impacting plays? They didn't do it on a regular basis last year. 1 sack over the last 6 games.
Yeah.
So, yes, they have guys, but do they have the guys, especially, and you pointed this out very adeptly in the blast, you don't want to be leading the league in available salary cap space going into the year.
No.
There are guys out on the street right now that might be able to help you. And that's maybe what gives you pause. It's, Yannick Ngakoue, who it seems like he's been playing for 20 years. He's only 29 years old. But he's 2 years removed from a double-digit sack season. He's out there.
He is out there.
He's a guy you could plug in. And he could probably
do some damage
for you.
I just think it's appropriate to take some risks now, because what I don't want this to do, and I'll say it again, and I'll freely admit, maybe I have PTSD from covering the early Cardinals, the dark ages Cardinals, and everybody who did knows exactly what I'm talking about. From Ken Summers to the late great Steve Schoenfeld, that was all quite something. I'm not saying the Cardinals are there. They've come a long, long way. There was a time when they refused to do bells and whistles. Remember that? We don't do escalators here. Okay.
And they blamed it on lack of cash flow because of the stadium situation, and they fell behind competitively because they weren't able to. I mean, every year draft picks were holding out because they weren't getting the same type of deals that other teams were signing.
So, and so with all due respect, because I do think Monty Ossenfort's done a really good job. He's been very, very deliberate when it comes to signing big-name free agents or addressing this pass rush. And so I hope he knows what he's doing about this, because to me, This is one of those positions you don't want to have to pay for it, but you can't not pay for it if you want to be a good team. And I don't see the logic in, okay, we still need another year to build this thing out. I don't see that. If everyone's raving about your quarterback and your quarterback really can make a run at an MVP, get back into that conversation, then you got it all right in front of you right now. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. So I don't want to see all this salary cap space mysteriously disappear and extending guys you already have. Add to the mix. That's what I'm asking. Because, again, you can sit here and convince me of a lot of things. And I'm a big fan of Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort in the direction of where this is going. But it is also a fact that when you look at any NFL metric or analytical-based service, the Cardinals are very short of impact players. How many do they have on the top 100 list, Vinny?
One.
And then you go by the position groups. How many do they have in the top 10? Not many. For all the incredible optimism about Marvin Harrison Jr., do you know what his rating in Madden is? I could not believe this.
It struck me, and I don't pay much attention to those things, but that number struck me. The first number is a 7.
79 in Madden. So, and again, they make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, but I'm just saying there is a risk here that all the optimism, the try-hard optimism that team fed us last year, that we're going to be in for a letdown because eventually it's all about talent. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah. So with BJ Ojulari out for the year, Jonathan Gannon was also asked Saturday, hey, what about the other guys not named BJ Ojulari on the edge? How have they looked so far?
Good. They all improve their games and working, trying to get better every day. Some things that we asked those guys to, work on, they have, and it's showing up on tape. The young buck in there, XT, he's doing a good job.
Yeah, so we shall see how they figure it out, to use Jonathan Gannon's terminology.
Yep.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.